Final Fantasy XVI, a game that many people are very, very excited for, has now been delayed almost half a year to the end of 2022. Originally slated for early 2022, it has now moved to the back half, but there is some good news in store. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to know when these videos go live. So one of the games that I have been tremendously excited for has been Final Fantasy XVI coming to PlayStation. And as far as we know, it's exclusive to PlayStation for the time being. But today we got an update about the game from producer Naoki Yoshida. Let's read what they wrote. So basically they said, a message from the producer. Greetings, everyone. When last we spoke, I promised I would have more information on Final Fantasy XVI sometime later in 2021. However, I regret to inform you that I will be unable to keep that promise as complications stemming from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic have delayed the game's development by almost a half year. As the latest addition to the Final Fantasy series being developed for the PlayStation 5, Final Fantasy XVI has amassed a sizable team composed of talented creators from around the world. However, in an effort to offset the effects of COVID-19, we've had to decentralize that workforce by permitting staff to tackle their assignments from home. This has unfortunately hampered communication from the Tokyo office, which in turn has led to delays or in extreme cases, cancellations of asset deliveries from our outsource partners. That said, we have spent much of 2021 addressing this issue and hope to see its impact to a minimum by the new year, allowing us to better focus on the tasks at hand. Increasing graphic resource quality, refining combat mechanics, fleshing out individual battles, putting the finishing touches on cutscenes, and conducting overall graphical optimization. Our primary goal now is to be as hands-on with the game as possible in order to see it fully polished. So that leaves us with the question, when can we expect the next round of information? Well, I am happy to announce that the current plan is to conduct our next big reveal in spring of 2022 as we seek to build excitement leading us up to the game's eventual release. I deeply apologize to all those who have been looking forward to learning more about Final Fantasy XVI, and thank you for your continued patience while we focus on our combined efforts on development. Final Fantasy XVI producer, Naoki Yoshida. So, the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, and as you know, there's like the new variant and strain and whatever, has caused a lot of these studios to reevaluate their timetables and just make adjustments accordingly. I am totally fine anytime that a developer says, hey, we need more time to make this game perfect. And if you look at what they've delivered thus far for Final Fantasy XVI, a game that I am personally really excited about, it looks great. It looks to me like a return to some of the older Final Fantasies, dealing a little bit more with the knights and sorcery aspect of the game. We get to see these larger-than-life villains, and the game actually looks quite phenomenal. I can't wait to see how they tackle the classic summons that you get to use and everything else. I'm also interested in the storytelling dynamic that we sort of get peeks at here. It seems like you're in a castle and you have to utilize your abilities to protect these people, to protect this area of the game. If you look up Final Fantasy XVI's official website, let's actually bring that up here really quick. So the official Final Fantasy XVI website says, the legacy of the crystals has shaped our history for long enough, indicating that this could be some sort of departure from the traditional storytelling involving the crystals. And if you actually go to the website, you can actually see more information about the game. So they talk about the world, right? So it takes place in Valisthea, a land blessed in the light of the mother crystals, and all of the games have dealt with the crystals, usually in some capacity, especially the original games. And this says, the land of Val, I'm just going to abbreviate to Val, is studded with mother crystals, glittering mountains of crystal that tower over the realms around them, blessing them with ether. For generations, people have flocked to these beacons to take advantage of their blessing, using the ether to conjure magics that let them live lives of comfort and plenty. Great powers have grown up around each mother crystal, and an uneasy peace has long reigned between them. Yet now the peace falters as the spread of the blight threatens to destroy their dominions. And as you can see, it's a gorgeous sort of castle type setting. And sorry, got to sneeze again. So again, showing I'm human in one of these videos. Apologies, everybody. So you can see, I assume this is one of the summons, but they talk about icons and their dominance. The icons are the most powerful and deadly creatures in Val. Each resides with a dominant, a single man or woman who is blessed with the ability to call upon their dread power. In some nations, these dominants are treated as royalty in admiration of their strength. In others, they are bound in fear of it and forced to serve as weapons of war. Those who are born as dominants cannot escape their fate, however cruel it may be. So if you know nothing about the game this far, then you can learn a little bit more here as I go through the website. The realms of Valestia, the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, the Holy Empire of San Rique, and the Kingdom of Wallowed. Wallowed? Really? That sounds like a negative. And then they talk about the Dalmatian Republic, the Iron Kingdom, the Crystalline Dominion. So it does sound like that each of these factions or areas in the game are going to be places that you explore, and you're going to have to find out more about the game as you explore this world. I'm actually I'd say I'm a casual Final Fantasy fan, but I think I've played every one since 10, and then I would go back occasionally and play some of the older ones. I played through the entirety of 1, the original, on the NES. I think I played it on Wii when it came to Wii. I played through a lot of 2, but 2 had sort of this repetitive mechanic. And then I sort of skipped ahead to 10. Yes, I played 7. I think I played through the entirety of the first disc of 7 and then part of the second disc, the OG version on PlayStation. And there have just been so many Final Fantasies. Now, I actually really enjoyed the storytelling in Final Fantasy XI. Of course, Final Fantasy XIV has really, really done great. Final Fantasy XII, I actually enjoyed quite a bit. They sort of lost me with Lightning. And yeah, so that's my history with the series. 16 does look like a great reset point. It just looks like more traditional Final Fantasy to me, harkening back to that original NES classic that I played so many years ago. So I'm really excited. And it looks like we're going to get a big announcement this spring where we're going to get to learn more about the series. What do you think about the delay? What do you think about Final Fantasy 16? Do you have a favorite Final Fantasy period? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to, please consider subscribing to know when my videos go live. I do appreciate you hanging out. If you would like to become a member, memberships are turned on. Thank you so much to all the members who supported me throughout 2021. I have an extra special, Paul versus Destin, coming up for the end of the year. If you want to become a member, click that join button right down there. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.